returning the one and only Peter O'Toole, and also a special guest, the one and only Shawn Uyosa, stand-up comedian, extraordinary, and also in V9 by Peter O'Toole. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Nice. Excellent. So, Peter, tell us what you have been up to since the last time we've talked.
Funny enough, the last time we talked, we were saying V9 is going to be ready by July.
Something like that, yeah.
But I'm happy to say to everyone at the podcast, and I can officially say that V9 is finished and has been officially been submitted to its first festival entry.
Nice.
I am so proud to get a chance to work with Shawn. I'm proud to work with you again, and the extra talented Sinead and Kieran. So I'm just delighted to say, since the last podcast, I've done what I told you and Jamie. I also mentioned Shawn as well. I've taken a step back from editing and just taken a little brain chiller. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
So, is it safe to say that your next project will not be dystopian in nature?
100% I can confirm. That's me done with sci-fi for a little while. I can tell you exclusively on the show that the next project for me is going to be videos uploaded onto Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Short cinematic videos using Irish language through spoken word.
Wow. Amazing.
So I've started to teach myself Irish again.
That's unreal.
So I went further back in time to take a step back away from going future in time.
And it's great to see that you're, embracing the Irish language, but you also said spoken words, and you talk to someone. I don't know who you talk to, but whoever you talk to might be interested in doing some spoken word, but unfortunately, that person's Irish knowledge is, of course, to a very minimal degree. I know spoken word usually is in kind of acoustic, you don't really use beats. But if you know someone that does beats, you can also ask that person for music. There's no self-promotion here. It's just, I'm always interested in promoting other people. So, it's very awesome that you're embracing the Irish language and Irish culture again. And I'm looking forward to what you're doing next for sure. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
But let's keep it at V9.
Yes.
Because you brought someone along with you. Do you want to say who?
Yes, this is Shawn here sitting beside me, who's an ultra talented person, and I cast Shawn as the lead character, who officially goes by name Kane. So you're looking at Kane here, but this is Shawn in the flesh. He's actually a really nice guy. The reason I reached out was I was sitting down one day and I watched this show called Archive 81, and something popped in my head. I went to my wife to be the ever beautiful Lucy.
Archive 81, that's a TV show, isn't it?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure if they took it off or not, but if it is, folks, please do check out that show. It's awesome beyond belief. I told Shawn and yourself to check it out. I saw that show and I said, you know what, I'd love to work with a character like that. So, my research, I actually picked out 3 people. And I can say it was one Irish rapper, one Irish comedian, and one Irish rocker/rapper actor. There's 3 people I picked out. And I started scanning and said, who could I pick? And then I went on to the Smithfield Creatives. Shout out to Adam there.
Yeah, I love this story.
And I actually performed on that show as well. And I actually met another rapper there on that show by the name of Kay. So that we went to the show of. Yeah, so this is the connection we made.
Interesting.
So Adam goes, there's other people come to the show. Look, go check it out. So I checked out another episode, and there was this young man standing here by the name of Shawn performing. And I said, who's this guy? I went, there's something clicking in the back of my brain about him. And, long story short, I sent Shawn a message. I said, Shawn, look, I have the script. Would you like to come down and meet me in person? He goes, yeah, I sound interested. Literally 10 minutes into the conversation, meeting Shawn at Starbucks. And I went, do you want the part? And he was like, what, that quick? I said, yeah, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
This guy was giving me ideas about a script and a character, and he literally just read the script once over. He showed me he cared, he showed me he was determined, he showed me he gave a damn about the project, and he just oozed intelligence straight away. And I said, that's my Kane right there. We shook hands and that was it.
Yeah.
He signed on.
And I think it's great, really, that you talked about, meeting KC at Smithfield's Creatives by Adam. Shout out to Adam, by the way. And, you invited me to KC's album release party.
Yeah, wicked album, isn't
It is really good. It's an exceptional rapper. And it's funny that, this is a small world. We kind of connect in that way as well, And through that, I met Adam and he invited me to Smithfield Creators, but he also said, I'm going to be at the Bernard Shaw and I'll be doing some show there, open mics, etc. Why don't you come? I said, you know what? Let me just go. And I met Ellis Nair there, who we always feature his music in all of our clips on Instagram. I met Paul Lopin there, a French person who moved from France here to pursue a musical career. I made a track with him called Green Snakes. I met Alan McDood there, who, he likes to do video, etc. And we connected there as well. So I actually met a lot of people through you, and you met Shawn.
Yeah.
And I like the way, collaboration, creativity mixes, it's a small
100,
world. It's really, it's really
I love that story because I didn't even know that they recorded the sets. So I was so surprised when Peter reached out, like talking about it. I was like, what? I didn't even know, but it worked out so well. Like I was really happy to get the part, and it was just really cool, a really fun experience, It was sick.
Amazing. So, Shawn, why don't you tell us how, you got into Archive 81, how you got into comedy, etc. Why don't you tell us about all these things?
I started comedy a couple years ago. Like when you reached out first, it would have been 2021 or 2022? Maybe two?
God, now you have me thinking now. What year is it? 25. I'm bed still frazzled over Christmas still. I believe we collaborated and shot this late mid 23, if I'm not mistaken.
23,
it was around October, November.
Yeah, but I think when you first reached out, was it the...
It was before.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because I remember what's it called? Like I started stand-up when I was like 17. So I'd just been gigging, and the time when I met Peter actually coincided with like, I wanted to do more stand-up gigs. So I was just doing as many gigs as possible, which included doing Smithfield Creatives. So I was just like going at it. So I saw it really as like, so I was just doing stand-up and I was enjoying it, and I was using it to like get better. I just wanted to get better at stand-up. So when the opportunity to like act on something came up, like you wouldn't really get too many opportunities. I think that was actually the first time I was on camera for any project ever. So I was like, oh my God, this is such a big, like I'd never seen anything like, so I found it really fun. I got to learn so much, and it kind of made doing all the gigs worth it, because I was doing like 3 gigs a day, and I'll be running all across Dublin, just trying to say my lines, running to the open mics, doing Smithfield Creatives and all that. So to get to do a movie as a part of it was almost like the reward for all of that. So it was just like really sick how all just played out and everything like that.
It's amazing that you're really like pursuing it, and that's the right way to do it. To take your time really focusing on these things and putting your 10,000 hours in. So it's amazing. I like that, and I actually saw you in front of one of the places that you were about to perform at. I was really like tired a long day. Otherwise, I would have seen it. And I did look at some of your clips, and they were really funny. So, looking forward to what else you have going on comedically. But you also were in possibly previously, but possibly still featured a TV series on Netflix, right?
A TV series? Oh, do you mean the RTE sketches?
Yes.
Yeah, I did like a couple sketches for RTE. I think that they were called Office Girl. And we filmed them.
I've seen that, yeah.
We filmed them, what's it called? 2023, early 2024. And I played the character Barry. So it was really helpful getting to do V9 with Peter, because that was like my first experience. And that's why I even told Peter, was like asking me to watch it. And I was saying to him that I was really nervous to watch it. Like I wasn't able to watch it because it was my first time like acting, and I really wanted to do like a good job, especially for Peter and for the project. And I've done acting projects since. Like I did News Check, a couple sketches for News Check. I did the work for RTE, and every time my focus was just getting better. I started like streaming on Twitch. you know, because I wanted to
nice.
just be more comfortable in camera. So like I can and then doing my own sketches online. So I can see how much more comfortable I am on camera. And it was really like Peter that really helped me when we did V9 to like help me like say my lines and able to like do it properly, because I was just the whole time I was just thinking, am I gonna say this right? Am I gonna say this right? So I watched it then and it was fun and he was right. Like it was great to watch and it was a great watch. But I really like just appreciate weekend to do like V9, because I felt like it was really the building block to be able to do everything else that I did later on. Like, you know, so it was great.
And I do apologize for making you repeat those lines constantly,
No,
but that
no.
is the process. Look, I'm not as
Exactly,
bad as
yeah.
Stanley Kubrick and make you do it 400 times or something.
Or Quentin Tarantino,
Or
who's a
Tarantino.
perfectionist, supposedly.
But, and they are masters of their craft. I'm merely just a learner and a fan, but at the end of the day, like, it's all about fun. But yes, that is the process. There's no such thing as one take.
Exactly,
Ever.
yeah.
No matter how good it looks, never ever. You gotta keep doing it till you know, okay, we're done.
Yeah,
Same with a comedy gig, same with a beat. It may look or sound like, no, let me do that again.
exactly, yeah.
You gotta do it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably the tough thing I started with. I had to accept at the beginning, because with stand up, you know, it's like one take, you know, no matter how it's going. If it's
Sure,
going good, if
sure,
I mess up a
sure.
line, I just have to roll with the punches and know, oh, I messed up this setup. They're not gonna laugh at the punchline, but I just have to keep it going. So to do like acting, I don't know, it's kind of like, it was kind of good that I get a second go, but there's also a part of me that's always like, you know, I should have gone the right the first time, because with stand up, you have to get it right the first time. There's
God,
no,
yeah.
you know, second try. So it was fun to like learn and have to like change. And I've done like other acting things where they're like, do the line again and again and again, and I'll be like so frustrated, like, come on. But like, it's fun. Like I really, really appreciate getting to do it, you know, like it was really, really a great learning experience. Like, oh yeah.
I give Shawn credit and anyone who has the absolute balls to get up and do that. Or for joining. Sorry, I've been Texas. Do you know what I mean? Just saying, like, that's hardcore, like, because you get one joke wrong, that crowd can be vicious.
Rap battle.
They will let you know
Rap
about
battle.
it.
Yeah.
Rap
Rap battle as well. So me and Adam Stowes actually were talking about that on another podcast the road, and we said battle rap, stand-up comedians, they are gladiators of today's era. Do you know what I mean? Because you get it wrong, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you can't edit it.
Yeah.
You're on the spot. It's live. There is no repeat.
Yeah.
You go or you don't.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of love battle rap as well. Like, I'm not the biggest fan, but I would watch the big guys, like the more mainstream guys, like Hitman Holla and Conceited and Charlie Clips and all that. And I like I always try to like take some things from them. Like they're very like, they're like showmanship, which is weirdly not in comedy in a way. Like they'd have all their catchphrases and all that kind of stuff.
okay.
And you wouldn't really get
Ball
that in
game.
stand up. Yeah, exactly. Like all that kind of stuff. And some that like the audience can repeat. And I feel like there's no comedian really that would have like a call and response. So I feel like I think there's a bit of a battle rap scene in Ireland, isn't there? Don't Flop, is it called or something?
Yes, Don't Flop is and the Fighting Irish.
I actually talked to Spinoza, the battle rap guy, and he said there isn't really any kind of proper rap kind of events going on.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you just create one? You know, because I'm sure like pubs that certain pubs would like literally give this spot for free.
Yeah.
And he said yes. There's a Soundhouse gave him the spot for free from 6 to 11. Like if they do that again, I could literally talk to so many. I know so many cameramen. I know so many like people that are in the creative field, and I know a couple of battle rappers. We can have them undercut. We can get one name, because I mean some of the people, of course, ask for exorbitant, insane prices.
Yeah.
But some people that are really, really famous ask for extremely reasonable prices, like shockingly reasonable prices. So you can get one name to draw the masses, like that's from America. I actually talked to one person who's from Europe, it's like Nordic, and he, for example, said, all I care about is an interesting opponent. I won't even take the money.
A lot of them think that way.
Yes, which is amazing. And he's like, in his region, he's the most legendary battle rapper of all time in his region. Like people don't really know him in America. Some people know him in Europe, but in his region, he's the most legendary. Like as if like who's the most legendary in let's say in America?
comedy.
In America, it's like Murder Mook. Have you heard of him?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
In
I've heard of
he's the murder mook of the Nordic region, and he won't take money unless if it's an interesting opponent, which is amazing. Like if you get people like that into a rap battle event, we basically won't have to pay much, and then we can make it back at the door, etc. So something like that would make an amazing event.
Yeah, and it's funny talking about Barra because I actually messaged. I don't know if it was done. I think it was. Is it Rap is Full or Battle is Full? Is that another?
Yes, Rap. I know
heard
that
of
page
it.
you're talking about because
Yeah.
they have a spin-off called The Flighting Irish Boy Rap Tour. And I
Ah.
think he's in charge of one of those pages. But like as you were saying,
Yeah, because what's it called in like?
Gwame, GWAME.
yes, I
Yeah,
know who you're talking about.
he's into the scene as well. Sorry. Yeah.
That's alright because
Now
what's it
Bob was
called?
cut off, Sean. There, so now I feel real.
That's no problem. What's it called? I actually messaged them and asked them if I could do about I wanted to get into Bauer, just do it a couple times for fun. So I messaged them asking, and they gave me a date in June, but this was in 2020, and the pandemic happened in March.
Yeah.
So then it was cancelled. So that was the closest I actually ever came to doing
Well,
it.
jump in our rap event if you ever do it.
Yeah, I'd love to because
You can do a comedy set, and right after you go into no, I'm serious, on the same night.
Yeah,
you can
it'll
do
be fun.
let's
I don't
mind it.
sure.
That's got me thinking. Actually, you wouldn't be too bad at all in there because you got confidence.
Yes.
You're really good at comedy. Let's say you destroy some motherfuckers in there.
I've done so. Have you guys would know Wild 'N Out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they did a Wild 'N Out live show in the Sugar Club in 2023, and it was a proper thing. They got a couple rappers, a couple comedians. They had the pink team and the black team, and the whole place was sold out. And it was I gotta do it, and it was so much fun. We did the bar rap aspect and all that kind of stuff. It was really fun to write the lines and stuff and everything. So it's something I've always wanted to give a go, but it's just not too. It's shocking that it's not more. I feel like it has such potential to be a very popular thing in art because it's very underground, and the underground arts creative scene in Dublin's very, very popping. People are doing really well. So I feel like it still has a lot of space to break through.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan, and I was saying this to you as well. I'm more of a fan of the independent scene the last 3 years than I have in mainstream. Because everything in mainstream now, I still love it, but it just feels like I'm looking at prequels or reboots. The last word. But independent comedy, rap, film, art, paint, music, it's all from fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh, broke people like ourselves that have nothing to lose but everything to gain. You get it popping. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm a full-on support of independent, because you're getting fresh content straight away from people who are just in it to create. They're not run by a huge studio. And, don't get me wrong, Jimmy. You love to get picked up by a big job one day, but independent still for me is the best way to be, because everything is just fresh and people are just bursting with talent.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Is the scene, especially the Black and Irish scene. They have a couple what do you guys I was listening to this new guy. Do you know Moyo? He has this song called Moments that's been doing very well.
I know that name.
Yeah.
Is he on Instagram?
Yeah.
I think one of the Irish rap lads have shared a video of his or two.
Yeah. He has a song that's doing I was listening to it, and it's really good, called Moments. And it's just the whole scene, even I have a couple I have a friend called JLOL who's a rapper as well, and his music is really, really good. He had a song in FIFA. I feel like there's such a scene here, and it's really growing rapidly and becoming better and better and better. So I was I'm really, really excited for the Irish creative scene. I think it's really gonna go places, and then people making the films and all that kind of stuff. And it's so great that it can all come together. Even me just doing comedy, I never thought about doing film, and here I am. It's just, it's really fun.
Excellent. And if you look at I think me and Obi started out a while back, but if you take Smithfield Creatives 2022 to 23 and then look at that circle now. I said that to Adam, didn't I? Walked down to Casey's listening party for the album, and I was talking to Adam because he goes, "Oh, yeah, you cash fucking Shawn and V9," and I told him, "Yeah, that's because thanks to you, because Smithfield Creatives," and he was absolutely thrilled when he heard that, because he goes, "That's been his mission from day one. All he ever wanted to do was to get like-minded people together and hopefully kicked off a scene where people start collaboration." And I said, "Well, congratulations, if that's your goal, you've scored a hat-trick, because you've succeeded, because we're here at Casey's rap party, and I just told you me and Shawn made a sci-fi film."
I was thinking
So it's a complete full circle.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
He achieved his mission, I think.
I think I was thinking of maybe having Flynn Johnson on the rap event as well.
Ah, Flynn, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I go way. He's a great friend of mine, and his real name's Evan. We'll call him Flynn, but Flynn Johnson. But Flynn is, you know, we were at the show,
Yeah.
and you know he's awesome. He's multi-talented, and you know what I always say about that guy. Flynn is that person who is young, but he's got the mindset of an older man. He's like,
Yes, he comes
he's like a
across
Jedi.
like, yeah,
Do you know
he
what I mean?
comes
Pretty
across
much,
like
he's
that.
a Jedi.
Yeah.
He's a
The wise
genuine
person,
Star Wars
yeah.
Jedi. He's a young, what young person with an old mind.
All told. But like I was in my mind thinking, because I've heard him, like some of his raps are very battle rap style, although he isn't a battle rapper. So what I was thinking, maybe Flynn Johnson against Spinoza, because Spinoza, he was doing battle rap like 7 years ago. He like stopped, so he like, and Spinoza is good at, so in Croatian, if Spinoza was going to do Croatian battle rap versus Flynn Johnson, I think Spinoza would win easily, but wait.
Challenge.
Yes,
Challenge, I'm all for
wait.
that.
Wait, but but we're going to do it in English. In English, because he was an actual battle rapper. Like we're talking about, he has hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Like we're talking about proper battle rapper. He used to be in Croatia, like Red Bull and actual battle leagues and all kinds of different things, right? But it was ages. It was like a decade ago. So I'm thinking Flynn Johnson, who, like I said, his raps, some of his raps, when I hear them, it's like sounds like a battle rapper who's making songs.
Yeah.
Yes, that's,
Yeah.
although he isn't actually a battle rapper, but that's what it sounds like. So I think he would be a really good challenge when it comes to like either making complex one, but also making tongue twister raps against Spinoza, who only came to Ireland like 3 years ago, and you can hear that he has some difficulty with some words, but his mindset is battle rap. So I think that would be, for example, a good combination. I don't know Flynn. I only know that he was the second ever rap person to be accepted in the International Songwriters Retreat, me being the first
I was
one.
waiting to say that. I wonder who the first person was. So
Yes.
don't go.
Yeah, of course, I'll send you the stuff about Spinoza, but again, all his rap battle experience is in Croatian, so I mean, you're not gonna understand it, but I can send it to you anyway.
I listen. I'm a fan of all different country culture
Sure.
stuff, because at the end of the day, though, I'm also a fan of Brazilian sci-fi.
Fair enough.
You know? And then
Yeah.
one of my favorite films of all time is City of God.
Ah, okay.
That's my top 5 of all
Actually,
time.
I've never watched it, but
Oh,
no,
how
I
dare
will.
you.
I will.
I've seen it about 17 times.
But no, I know of it, of course, but I've actually never watched it. But yeah, of course, it's a legendary film by now, of course, yeah. So, what is next for you?
What is next? Right now, I'm actually working on a solo show. Actually, speaking of the spoken word, I'm actually working on a stand-up comedy spoken word comedy show at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm doing it in Leicester on February 16th. That's the debut of the like work in progress. So I could do a full run in Edinburgh next year, hopefully, and try make my way in the comedy industry in the UK a bit more. So I'm mainly working on that. I'm actually looking to do more act. I don't know if I told you, I actually wrote a short film as well at the end of last year. And I just have like the outline of the idea. I haven't actually like putting it to like page and all that, but I was gonna send it to you and get your ideas and all that kind of stuff.
Happy to read, man. Send on to me, bro. Send on to me.
Yeah, so just trying to like branch out into different things, do a bit more acting, do a bit more writing for for TV and all that kind of stuff, and then just really focus on stand-up, just build the minutes, get better material, and then I'm doing a lot more online stuff as well at the moment. So I've actually been trying to post a video every day on like Instagram or TikTok to try and build a following so that people can come to stand-up shows and all that kind of stuff. So just trying to keep busy, but it's been going well though. It's been going really, really well. So just gonna have to make sure I don't lose focus. Just stay on that for now. Yeah, it'll be grand.
So regarding that creative stand-up routine that you have thought of with the spoken word and a traditional comedy set,
Yeah.
would you say that some of that is kind of inspired by the now, cultish following of the stand-up set called Insight, by the person that I completely forgot the name of, who did this over the pandemic. He was inside and he did it in his room. He did this comedy set.
Oh, is this Paul Burnham?
It is indeed.
Yeah. But I actually haven't watched this special. My friends have been telling me about it, telling me it's amazing. I haven't watched the special. I know he does a lot more musical kind of comedy. I think mine's gonna be a lot more like 15 minutes of stand-up, maybe 3 minutes of spoken word, 15 minutes of stand-up, 3 minutes of spoken word, then a spoken word piece at the end that like ties everything together as a big like conclusion kind of thing. But that's actually a very good recommendation for like inspiration, because I heard that it's very creative and very like thoughtful, and he's able to mesh the different genres like really well. So I'll definitely give that a watch.
So where would you say that you got your inspiration from your comedy style?
I think Dave Chappelle would be who I start like, yeah.
Give me some. You got it, yeah.
Where I'll go.
Legend.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like what's it called? Like, are you Nigerian?
I am indeed Nigerian.
Nigeria, yeah. I don't know why. I thought that was the
Told me you were
Irish.
German.
Well, I am indeed.
Oh shit.
I wanted to mix the words, but I can't.
German Nigerian. Yeah, does
I know your background, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a man of two worlds.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but what's it called? That's how I am. Like I was living in Nigeria from like 15 years old to 17 years. Like, you ever hear when people get like shipped back? Is that a thing you know?
No.
It's like when your parents tell you you're just going to Nigeria for 2 weeks, then you end up staying for a year.
Okay.
And that's what happened to me. So I was meant to go to Nigeria for 2 weeks, ended up straight in boarding school, lived in Nigeria for 2 years, and we didn't have Netflix there. So I didn't like have any Netflix. Then I came back to Ireland when I was 17, and one of the first things I saw was like the return of a legend, all this kind of stuff. And it was Dave Chappelle had just come back from his hiatus from stand-up comedy, and I'd never heard of him. I never knew who he was. You know, I wasn't around when I was alive, but I was like a child when he did like Chappelle's show and all that. So they were like, oh, the legend is back, the funniest guy in the world. And I was like, this guy can't be that funny. So I put on his special thinking, oh, I'll just watch 10 minutes of this and then turn it off. Let me just see if he can make me laugh. And it was one of the best things I've ever watched. And I always liked writing and all that. And I could see that like all this stuff is kind of written. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And I immediately started writing, and I loved that. And I felt,
Amazing.
you know, I think the thing I have with comedy that's like so awesome for me is that it's such an instant yes or like I'd written a bunch of stuff before, but I'll show it to my mom and dad and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's amazing, I love that, that was really, really good. But there's no real way to tell if it's actually good or if it's just my parents saying, you know, it's good. But with stand-up, you know, it doesn't matter if 10 of my parents are in the audience. If there's 30 people in, if the other 20 aren't laughing, I'll feel that they're not laughing, you know, like, so it's the instant knowing, oh, is this good, is it bad, and knowing how to get better and like figuring things out. So I actually just started then, like I just watched Dave Chappelle and then I went into it. I think Shane Gillis, do you know Shane Gillis?
Yes.
Rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy now who like, I think he has the tightest writing, so he'd be the guy I watch a lot now.
What about Bill Burr?
Bill Burr's another favorite of mine. I think his special on Netflix, Paper Tiger, I've watched it like so many times.
He does write for other comedians.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's actually a very rare talent to be able to write something in someone else's voice.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr is exceptional at this. He can write things in Chris Rock's voice. That's why Chris Rock took quite a few jokes from Bill Burr. He can write things in Dave Chappelle's voice. That's why in the Chappelle show, a lot of jokes are from Bill Burr, a lot of them. He can write in other people's voices, which is a very rare talent to have.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I was wondering, which one is your favorite Dave Chappelle stand-up?
Ooh, I think it'll definitely have to be one of the ones that I came back, when he came back.
Which one?
I think it's the OJ one. There's one when he does like the
I
4
see.
OJ times
Yes,
he met
yes,
OJ. I can't remember the name of the special. It might
Have
be
you
on
ever
MTV.
watched?
Is it an early one?
Yes.
Killing Him Softly.
Killing Him Softly.
Yeah, I've watched that one. I love that one as well. That's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah, for what it's worth, isn't all that good, but he wasn't in a good state of mind because he was in the Chappelle show. He was being overworked by Comedy Central, but then also he had made this legendary bit as being Rick James. I'm Rick James B, and everywhere he went, in front of his children, they were like, "I'm Rick James," and they were like harassing him and saying curse words in front of him. He was so sick of it. He was overworked. He wasn't getting much money for this. Of course, the third season he was offered 55 million, but before that he was offered next to nothing. So he was you could see it. He was so tired, he was annoyed, and he even stopped in the middle of his set. Most of if you look it up on YouTube, you won't really see it. You would have to look at the original one. He stopped in the middle of the set and said, "Guys, you have to stop this. You have to stop harassing me." But you know, so he wasn't all there, but keep killing him softly. It's because when I watched it, I had not watched much else in English comedically, so I was blown away by this. And I think it's a similar trend because I asked my cousin which Batman movie is his favorite one, and he said The Batman, the one from 2022, which is good.
I love that one.
Oh yeah, I really like
but
it.
it's not better than The Dark Knight. However, I understand if someone like him, a younger person, will tell me, because he doesn't know the impact that The Dark Knight had, and that the Batman is almost like taking so many things, and so I understand his point of view, and I understand your point of view. But it's not.
I know. I know that. I think that's the most interesting thing about art is that like everything is like even the people use the example of like Seinfeld, and that was like the first sitcom that was really the big one that blew up, that really like made the genre of like sitcoms. Like it's considered the best sitcom. But when I go and watch it, I won't see it for the greatness because
I never laughed.
But the reason I feel like I don't see it is because I've watched so many sitcoms and saw what Seinfeld did, and we're like, I'm gonna do it
they basically
better.
ripped it off and made it better.
So when I watch,
however, the Batman did not make the Dark Knight better, but it's each to their own. It's great.
I will say this about the Matt Reeves universe. I think for me now, who's hardcore Batman, right? I still love the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. I'm on the same page as Obi. Dark Knight's just never getting touched ever. I don't care what comes out. It's just you're not knocking Zeus off that mountain anytime soon. But I will say this: the Matt Reeves Batman, probably my favorite looking version of Gotham City out of all the Batmans. I love.
Is it the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Ice Dude?
Oh, Mr. Freeze, putting me back in the cooler. In the cooler. No, that's the reason why that whole thing needed to be rebuilt. It got to the point where, okay, I think we need to step back from this. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to ask yourself, how did you have all these big names and mess this up so bad? Do you know what I mean? If you go back and watch it. I will say this. Funny enough, of all the films, it's a very comic book accurate Bane. In that film, he just doesn't talk.
Oh, I can't. I didn't even know Bane was in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to watch it again.
Bane's in there, but you forget that he is. He doesn't talk.
Yeah, that's really great. Of course, there's a lot of controversies regarding Dave Chappelle, and just because we love Dave Chappelle for all the good that he has done does not necessarily mean that we also agree or that we also support him in all the controversies that he did. Just out of the gate before someone unfollows me again, which happens unfortunately a couple of times before when I said certain things to certain people.
I've actually thought that Dave Chappelle's last couple of specials have been a bit weak though.
The very last one I thought was terrible.
Thank you very much. I also didn't think it was very good. I think like even if the last 20 minutes was meant to be more like philosophical and him just talking, I felt like the jokes before it weren't the strongest before he even started doing
On a different note, I wrote a comedy piece called Torpidity. And I'm too scared to perform it because I will get cancelled.
Wait, but what's it about?
Oh, I can't even say. I will get cancelled even by explaining it.
No, but
it's called Torpidity, and I started writing parts of it during the pandemic, and then I edit just randomly when something goes into my mind. I edit to it, and it's probably by now it's probably like a 20-minute piece.
Is it like a stand-up set, or is this a sketch, or is it like
I would imagine it's a stand-up set.
a stand-up set?
Yeah.
I say definitely go for an open mic and just
That's intriguing, isn't it?
yeah.
You can't just mention that to us and you say I'm not going to say anything.
Maybe
You need to watch
I'll,
up that stuff
I'll
later.
check. Yeah, maybe I'll check some of the lesser.
An open mic
yeah,
is
a couple of the jokes I think I can tell. I think one I have regarding. I can't even mention. I'll call it regarding warehouse. I can't even say more.
Warehouse.
Warehouses.
Getting
I think it's
more
funny, but it's less cancellation eligible than other ones.
I think
yeah.
go to this gig on a Monday in the International Bar called Cheeky Monkey.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know the guys there because they have it on Mondays and Tuesdays,
Yeah.
open mics. Because I used to. That's where I met a couple of other people. I used to go to open mics more frequently. Now it's more like once every 6 months, and I think it's time for me to go back because it's more like a year now. The last time I was there, it was following the KC.
The album.
Yeah.
That's
So
the International Bar, yeah.
not like April or something.
I encourage you, I encourage Shawn, and I encourage any person out there who's creative who may has that little dip. Look, I understand. Sometimes shit happens in life. Can I curse in here, by the way?
course you
I
can.
got a natural thing of it.
Of course you can.
I didn't. But anyway, it's just I understand that a dip may occur in the creativity. It's natural. All I say is, look, if you feel like it's getting a bit like there's a pause or a rust level there and it hits a few months, do yourself a favor, try it and break that hit on the head, snap it in half and get out and put yourself out there.
Then turning into a
Like
domestic abuser, go on stage and talk about your anger issues and let them out that way, because a lot of people appear to have a lot of jokes regarding their marriages, and I'm so grateful that they're saying that instead of so
I'll give you a funny one there.
Yes.
Lucy, I got her tickets to see Declan on Rock. He's a great Irish singer. I actually never listened before, but she loves him, so we went to see him live. Very good singer, by the way. Got some really good tunes. But someone just shouted. He just paused for a second. I heard, and the poor man was obviously locked. But he said, Declan, and then he struggled a bit and goes, "I love you more than my wife." And then there was just a pause. I mean, the crickets were having a gangbang nearly. Do you know what I mean? And everyone just started laughing. And Declan fell back and just went, "Bro, love, I suppose." But I just went, that's going to be awkward because the wife was sitting right next to him. He showed out right in Vicar Street.
Oh,
and I
my
went,
God.
I just went, God, I feel like I'm going to red and I'm not even related to the man. So yeah, as you just said about talking about relationships and divorce.
Well, instead of in the crowd, just go on stage and say, "Hey, listen, this is not about my wife. This person who's exactly like my wife, but called something differently. Hey, it's a different name. It's not my wife, right?" But yeah, no, I think it's great that we have these kind of connections, and I'm looking forward to working with you too in different scenarios. Maybe once I feel up to it, once I've amassed enough money so I can safely go on stage and say that comedy piece so I can get cancelled, but I have enough money stashed up to live, happily ever after. And maybe then I will go on stage. So in 100 years, you might see me there. Amazing. It was great having you on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
I'd loved the conversation, and I think it was a great
Had a
episode.
great time.
And anytime, open door for yourself, and open door for yourself too. And unfortunately, this is the first.
Move his credit from the house on that.
So for the first time ever, I will have to do the outro because usually Jamie does it. So this was Slim and Light. All right. Okay.